Welcome to Community Spotlight. Today at the Dole Center, the Recreation Department and the African Healing Circle host its annual Kwanzaa celebration.
Ashe. Habari Gani. Habari Gani. Unity. That is, when they thought of the 7 principles of Kwanzaa, they thought it appropriate to begin off the first day with unity.
That's right.
Because unity, we can't have cooperative economics. We can't have collective work and responsibility. We can't have creativity. We can't have purpose.
No.
We struggle with our faith if we can't be unified. They say, united we stand, divided we fall. That's what was said a long time ago. But my good friend Cynthia told me that you can't conquer what you can't divide.
All right now.
You can't conquer what you can't divide. And so much energy and time is spent trying to conquer, trying to divide us. Because if you can divide us, if you could divide our thoughts, if you could divide our loyalties, if you could divide our interests, if you could divide our agenda, if you could divide our money, then you could easily divide us.
Come on, teach.
So unity is the principal thing. I want to start off by saying greetings to the city of Mount Vernon and those who have come to stand with us on today. Thank you to the African Healing Circle, to the Recreation Department, and all of those, our African Brotherhood, who have come together to put this event together. I want to recognize our brother Abishai, our Baba Abishai, who has been doing this for a long time, and all of the brothers here. I want to thank you to our brother Jarvis and our brother Horton. These are our elders in the community. Our mother Horton, Queen Mother. Woo! Queen Mother Atiba out in the lobby.
Queen Mother Horton.
Woo! Queen Mother Atiba, who I believe is out in the lobby right now.
That's right.
And all of those who work with our African Healing Circle and who put this together. Thank you, my sister, for getting up and sharing your worship, your praise, your dance.
That's right.
With us. Right? We are in a more consequential time, and I know we hear that word. They say, oh, this is the most consequential election, and we're living in consequential times. But I think each time we say it, we don't realize that things can get worse. And so then we say consequential more and more and louder and with a deep passion in our voice. But if we don't know it now, we'll never know it. That if we don't come together, if we don't figure out what's most important,
Come on, teach.
then we won't have to have these conversations much longer because we'll be begging to be let in the door. Mount Vernon, if you understand our location, then you understand our value.
That's right.
And so many people for so many long have tried to tell us our community was nothing.
All right.
Well, they told it was nothing, and they pulled back monies, and they pulled back things so that we would believe it, so that they could come back in and buy it cheap.
Get it. Come on now, please.
Because when we stop understanding the value of what we sit on, this 4 square miles, 22 minutes from 3 different train stations to Manhattan, to the financial capital of the world, if we don't realize the 7 highways that surround us and the 10 bus routes that run through our city, if we don't understand the plots of land that we have here and the beautiful homes that we have, even though some might be falling into disrepair, if we don't understand when we have a park within 5 minutes of almost anywhere you could walk from in Mount Vernon, if we don't understand that our community was one of the first planned communities in the country, then we don't understand the value that we have. If we don't understand that people who are walking around offering you cash for your house because Big Mama didn't make a plan because she didn't want to get anybody in the city and in the family upset because she left the house to them, we don't understand the value of what we hold. And that's why there is constant attempts from within and without.
Teach on. Teach on.
I don't always worry as much about the attempts from without.
That's right. That's right.
But I am pained often by the attempts from within. By people to tell us how significant we are and insignificant we are at the same time. They want to tell you you're important and you're nobody. Because they want you to believe it. You're important when they get to utilize you as the bullet in somebody's gun. And you're unimportant when you stand up and you speak for yourself because you understand the power that you hold. So we have to be very, very careful. Because everything that sounds good isn't good for us. Everything that sounds good is not good for us. Cooperative economics, you've heard, we got to support our businesses. We got to support our stores. For a long time, I ran the Y. People talk about the Y now and how much they miss it. But when I was there, everybody wanted a discount and would go to White Plains and New Rochelle and pay twice the price to get half the service. We don't value things too often in this community until it's gone. And then we want to grieve it after it's left. So we have to get to a place where we support what's struggling and we build it up instead of tearing down what's struggling until it's no longer, and then talk about, well, what happened? What happened is sometimes we leave the very things that we need to be investing in, and we act like somebody else is going to save it. Nobody's coming to do it but us. The self-determination, nobody's coming to save us but us. And if we don't sit here and if we don't teach our babies, if we don't take care of our elders, then we lose our community.
That's right.
I'm sitting here and we're trying to pass legislation to give out 400 cameras to residents so that the cameras could watch our neighborhoods. We're more connected now in this time and age than we were ever connected before. But the more we're connected through social media and text messages and TV, the more disconnected we become in speaking to each other as neighbors, in showing up to community meetings. The more information that's out there, the more we're misinformed. Because we're not even sure with all the information coming at us what's true and what's not true. And so we take the things that come out quick and first, and we hold on to that, but we don't listen to the correction that comes after that. So we have to be careful. And I know we are tired. I know we are fighting on so many fronts. I know we have so many distractions. And you're like, Jay-Z, I got 99 problems, but this and this and this and that ain't one of them. If we take our eyes off of them, before we realize it, they're right in our face. So we were dealing with housing and food and education and crime, but we didn't want to look at climate change and we didn't want to look at infrastructure. But when infrastructure falls apart and when it's 100 degrees for 100 days in our neighborhoods because we don't have trees, we're impacted. So some of the things that we don't want to look at because we're already looking at so many things and it seems overwhelming, those are the very, very things that come to impact us in ways that they never could imagine. And so I'm just saying to you, don't give up your fight.
Wow, wow.
Don't give up your hope. Don't give up your peace. Don't give up your truth. You're tired, I'm tired, we're tired, I get that. Right? But our ancestors were tired and they were picking cotton. And our ancestors were tired when they were in the hulls of boats. And our ancestors were tired when they were being whipped. And they had no quick answers, but they stood. They stood because they had a hope. And if we lose hope, then our babies have no hope.
All right.
Our babies have no hope. We're wondering why our babies are shooting and why they're killing and why they're stabbing. Well, because oftentimes as adults, we're shooting, we're killing, and we're stabbing with our words. As our babies hear us on the phone, talking about our own family members, talking about our pastors, our leaders in the community, our business people. They hear it. But then we want them to respect the very people that we sit around our house and we talk about bad with. When I was young, kids couldn't be in the room and they definitely couldn't be part of the conversation. Now we discuss everything in front of them.
That's right.
And they hear everything we have to say and we confuse them.
That's right.
Because we talk and we kill with our words, but then we tell them when they express that pain in the only way they know how to express it, that they're wrong. So we got to change our words so that they can change their actions. We have to change our focus so that they can hope again. And if we don't do it as adults, I told people just because you're 2 times 10 plus 1 doesn't mean we're grown. We have to have emotional and mental maturity. We have to learn how to talk through our differences. And when we show our young people that, we can't talk clean and live dirty. Because when we talk clean and live dirty, then the only thing they are is confused. And they go out with all of that confusion and all of that misunderstanding and all of that anger, and they hurt themselves. And so during this season of Kwanzaa, we got to recommit. We have to recommit. It's not about culture versus religion. We don't have to choose between our culture
Not at all.
and your God, because they both intersect. But we have to make sure that the messages that we're sending to our babies, the way in which we're loving our elders,
That's right.
the way in which we're conducting business, align with what we say we believe.
Come on, teach on.
And so I'm not saying this because I'm elected. I was saying this because everything that I'm saying now, I said before I was ever elected, and when I will no longer serve, it will still be the same. It will still be the same. We got to be focused. We got to be diligent. We could disagree, but let's sit together and talk through our disagreements. Let's not walk away and give up on each other.
That's right.
Because when we walk away and we give up on each other, then we give space and place to people who want to divide so they can conquer. We give them a bigger platform. And we can talk about the color of their skin, but far too often, they look just like us. They dress like us. They live in our neighborhoods and even sometimes in our houses. Right? And so it's not about you and me, it's about us and we. And how we're going to move our community forward, how we're going to strengthen our babies, how we're going to take care of our elders, and how we're going to strengthen our economy so that not just some of us can eat and not just some of us could be successful, but so that we can all be successful. Let's live the principles, not 7 days during Kwanzaa, but 365, because if we really live these principles, 365, then no one will ever be able to explain the transformation and the changes that will emanate from our communities. We are brilliant, we are bold, we are innovative, but we got to be unified for all of that to work. So I bring you greetings and blessings on this first day of Kwanzaa. And I stand saying let's focus on unity and let unity be the principal thing. Because when we're unified, we're successful. God bless you. Ashe.
Ashe.